The rise of Mobutu, from birth to dictatorship. Joseph Désiré Mobutu was born on October 14, 1930, in Lisala, a small town in the Belgian Congo, now the Democratic Republic of Congo. His father, Alberic Bemani, was a cook for a Belgian colonial officer, while his mother, Marie-Madeleine Yemo, was a strong-willed woman who raised him after his father's early death. Growing up under colonial rule, young Mobutu was exposed to both the rigid structures of Belgian authority and the resilience of his people. His early education at Catholic missionary schools instilled in him discipline, but also a sense of defiance. He was a bright but rebellious student, often challenging his teachers. His sharp mind and physical stature made him stand out, foreshadowing the commanding presence he would later have on the political stage. At 19, he joined the Force Publique, the colonial army, where he learned military discipline and strategy. However, his real education came in journalism. After leaving the military, he became a reporter for L'Avenir, a pro-Belgian newspaper. This job gave him access to politicians, ideas, and the growing nationalist movement sweeping across Africa. By the late 1950s, Mobutu had aligned himself with Patrice Lumumba, a passionate independence leader who became Congo's first prime minister in 1960. Acting as Lumumba's secretary and advisor, Mobutu played a key role in shaping the new government, but he was also a man who watched and waited. As Congo descended into chaos after independence, with Cold War rivalries playing out between pro-Soviet Lumumba and Western-backed factions, Mobutu saw his chance. With backing from Belgium and the United States, he orchestrated a military coup in 1960, placing Lumumba under house arrest. By 1961, Lumumba was executed, an event that remains one of the darkest stains in Congo's history. Mobutu didn't take full power immediately. For years, he worked in the shadows, positioning himself as a stabilizing force amid political turmoil. In 1965, he launched a second coup, declaring himself president of Congo. This time, he abolished democracy and ruled with an iron fist. Rebranding the country as Zaire, he changed his name to Mobutu Sese Seko Kukumbendu Wazabanga, meaning the all-powerful warrior who goes from conquest to conquest, leaving fire in his wake. This was more than just a name change. It was the beginning of a cult of personality. Mobutu's rule would span over 3 decades, marked by extreme corruption, brutal repression, and extravagant wealth, while his people suffered under one of the most kleptocratic regimes in history. His rise was not one of idealism or revolution, but of sheer cunning, strategic betrayals, and an unrelenting grip on power. The palace stood in ruins. Badalite, once called the Versailles of the jungle, was now a ghostly skeleton of its former glory. The chandeliers that once bathed Mobutu Sese Seko in golden light now hung like broken ribs from the ceilings. Vines crawled over marble floors where generals once knelt in loyalty. The winds whispered secrets